A lot of what Excel does for you is automated. It's automatic. It's trying to figure out what you want. It's going with the most common uses and the most common looks of things. But that doesn't mean that you can't customize it. It just means that on average, it does a pretty good job as is. But you can always tweak things, you can always add things, and that's what we're going to look at here. We can do different elements, we can play with layout, and we can play with styles. Taking a look first at elements. Let's click on the chart. That's how we start all of this. And then we're going to go to Chart Tools, and we're going to go to Design. Over here on the far left is Add Chart Elements. Your options, by the way, when you click on this, is going to depend a great deal on what kind of chart you have. So it responds to the type of chart that you have. And I can go down here and I can change my axis. I can do primary horizontal, primary vertical. You can see the changes. I can go to axis titles. I can do primarily horizontal. Right there, you can see how axis title is changing depending on where I put my cursor, you see. Chart title, I can have none. Above chart, I can do it centered overlay. So let me show you the difference. Here it is separate by that, right? Now you see it's over on top of the chart itself. So you see stuff behind it. Data labels, data tables. So you can change the different things right here. You can make all sorts of different changes. You can add you can play with your legend, all sorts of good stuff. But this is where you would add or remove elements, right here in the Add Chart Elements area. You can also, let me click off of it, and do it right here on the chart itself. To the top right is the Format Task pane, where you can play with the different elements. I'll click on that. And as you see, you've got a version of what you had back over at the other button. And as I move my cursor over it, I get indication that there's more there for me to look at. So if I click on it, you can see I'm going through some different options. So those are different ways that you can add different elements to your charts. You can also change the layout. So once you've created your chart, you can change the layout of the chart. So we make sure our chart is selected. We go to Chart Tools, we go to Design, as usual. Then over here, we have Quick Layout. We're going to click the drop down, and we have different layout options. On the exam, you might be asked to put in, let's say, Layout 8 or Layout 11. Notice, just like when we did styles before, if you hover your mouse over it, you hover your cursor over it, it tells you the name. So if you have to change the layout, you just come over here, you click the drop down, and you just hover over and it will show you the name. So this is where you can change the layout. The last thing I want to take a look at is changing the styles. Let me click off of that. And over here, once again, Chart Tools Design, this is where we're spending most of our time right now, is our chart styles. We can hover over each of them. And as you see, the styles are changing. It's a little bit of a dramatic change. We can click the drop down arrow to get even more options. And as you can also see, as I hover over it, the name appears. So if you take the exam and they want you to put in, let's say, style number 12, this is how you would do it. You go to styles, then you'd hover your cursor over it until the name pops up so you know which one you're clicking on. You click on it and you're good to go.